Assassin's Creed has always been a franchise that I have not only played, known about, talked about, and just has always been a part of my life. This franchise has been going strong for 15 years now, which is approximately 68% of my life. But these are games that I have always loved for some reason, even if they at a pretty decent point in the franchise kind of lost their footing. I've always had these games on my mind. Every time one gets announced, I get excited for it, even though I tell myself I shouldn't, and I always have a blast playing it. I've played every single one of these games, and I want to talk about my favorite one. I played Assassin's Creed Black Flag for the first time in 2024.
Fucking pirates!
Trust that you shall be welcomed as a brother.
Yar, matey!
Now, this is a little bit of a clickbaity video because I have played this game before. I played it a lot when I was a kid. I played it when it first came out, but ever since the year it released, I have not touched this game. In fact, I kind of forgot about it and just assumed that my favorite Assassin's Creed game was, like most people, one of the Brotherhood games, either Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, just Ezio has always been my favorite protagonist, at least that's what I thought, and I've always really connected with his story. However, now that I've replayed Black Flag in its entirety, and I've almost 100%ed the game, and I've been playing it for the past few weeks, I've really sat down and analyzed every single game in this franchise, and I love this one. So to start this video off, I just want to talk about why I haven't touched this game since it came out. When this game came out, I was awful at playing single player games. I was really bad at it. I only played multiplayer games, and I barely probably made it past halfway through the game because I just could not get the ship combat. You got to remember, I'm younger. I'm 21 years old. This game came out a long time ago. I was a wee lad when this game released, and I really wish I wasn't, and I could have experienced the greatness of this game then. I'm glad I got to complete it now because man is it good. One of the main aspects of why this game is so great is the story. Now, obviously, I could spoil the entire game in this video. I kind of don't want to do that, because there's probably people who haven't touched this game since it came out, and I applaud you because you should be touching this game. Hold on. This is a game you should be replaying, and I hope you replay it soon, because I got this game for $2 on a Steam sale. I feel like I ripped them off. This game is so good from a storytelling aspect. Obviously, this game comes after a controversial entry in the series, a game I love personally, Assassin's Creed 3. This is the sequel to that game, the full sequel, I should say. There was an installment in between it, but this game is super good, and it kind of foreshadows Assassin's Creed 3 because you're playing as Connor's grandfather in this game, Edward. Now, from a protagonist standpoint, this dude is just so cool. He's a straight badass pirate. He doesn't really care what anybody thinks, and he just wants money. And like that's it. That's all he does. He's a pirate. I mean, come on. How can that not be cool? Obviously, from a story standpoint, you're playing as a pirate, so you're gonna have a pirating time. You're killing people, taking ships, taking names. Like, you're just going at it. You're trying to build a crew. There's a lot to this story, and Edward as a protagonist is just so likable to me. He has almost the same charisma as Ezio. I don't know if I would put them in the same level, but there's definitely something there with Edward that most of the other protagonists in this franchise are missing besides Ezio. So that it's just like, he's just so freaking cool. The ending of the story is actually pretty sweet too. I really, really like what they did with Edward going through the game. It felt really natural the entire time. At first, he's just trying to make money off of the assassin that he killed. He's thrust into the situation where he has to realize that he's losing all of his pirate crew and all of his best mates and everything like that, and he has to help the assassins, and he realizes that this is what he needs to do. And it's just such a great progression, and to just end the story the way it ended just wraps it up with a perfect little bow. Now, I know there's like a comic that details Edward's life after the game and his eventual death. I don't want to cover that in this video because I didn't play it. It's not a playable thing. I wish it was, because the comic was super cool, but it's not. I think one of my favorite aspects about this game is just the pure immersion of it. Obviously, these older Assassin's Creed games are not as smooth as the newer ones. They're not as made with polish as the newer ones are, but frankly, that helps the immersion for me. The graphics in this game, I played this game on PC just with a controller, and it was still gorgeous. The first mission, the tropical islands, the open sea, the enclosed areas were all really great to look at. The music, the animals you hunt, everything about this game makes you feel like you are there. And then on top of that, there is like a first-person aspect in the modern time gameplay portions that really helps with the immersion. And I feel like it was actually a really smart idea. They actually used like modern humans a correct way again after Desmond. That is the one thing that kind of lacks here, I feel like personally, is just like, you know, from the jump that the people behind Abstergo are bad people. So you know something's going to go down. It's pretty predictable from that standpoint, but really this game shines when you're Edward. That's all that really matters. And a lot of the story like kind of doesn't make sense. I know that there's gameplay playing behind me. This specific mission at the start of this video that was playing behind me, you have to try to capture this prisoner and break him out so you can use him against the Templars that you're working for, essentially. And this sage goes missing, and instead of you getting executed because Edward gets found with all of the dead prisoner like guards, instead of getting executed, they just put him on a boat, which is his strong suit. Some story things like that don't really make sense, but it is what it is. It's an older game, and frankly, I don't really care. It's still a blast because then you get to overtake a ship and become a pirate captain, and then you own a ship, and it's just so fun. Now, after the story, we have the gameplay. The gameplay in this game is everything I've ever wanted in an Assassin's Creed game, and everything I hoped Mirage would be. Mirage did go back to a lot of the better parkour systems. Combat was a little better. There were some things in Mirage that I still appreciate in Black Flag more. The parkour system in Black Flag is just really great. It's the older system before they changed it, so it's really, really good. The contracts in this game are really fun. Basically, there's pigeon coops. You just grab a contract, you go kill people. That's pretty much it. The boats, the boat combat, I know I said when I was younger I didn't appreciate it. I wish I did, because the boat combat in this game is phenomenal. It's so good that Ubisoft took it and just put it in its own pirate game that is still in development hell, but that's not the point. I swear I will always say the biggest screw up here is not just making a huge pirate game with this system. To me, this pirate system rivals Sea of Thieves. I couldn't think of the pirate game. Pirating system, the boat combat, the crew system, the treasure hunting, all the ways you feel like a pirate in this game outweigh Sea of Thieves for me. I don't know why. I like the third person aspect a little more, and I like that you can do more in this game, but that's not a knock at Sea of Thieves. I love that game to death too. Now, they gave Edward 2 swords. Coolest shit an assassin can have, by the way. Like, they always had a sword. You can unlock the other assassins like previous outfits and their swords, and there's a lot of customization options in this game, which I also really appreciate. But the double swords are just so cool. Like, being Edward and walking when you crash into another ship and you go to overtake it and you jump from one of your masts or whatever it's called, the big wooden piece, and you just double assassinate enemy pirates or army members with your swords. It's just like the coolest shit you could ever do in a game. Like, I don't know why this is not its own game again, because I would just remaster this game and I would play it forever. I'll always say I don't really like the guns in Assassin's Creed. It's just not my flow. I barely use them unless I absolutely have to. They were fine in this game. They weren't bad. They weren't good for me. I just barely ever used it, but it was still there, and that's another great way of customization for this game to have. I think this game, it could just be recency bias, and that's probably what this entire video is based on. The play how you feel element of this game is perfect. You can pretty much play this game as much as you want in your own way while not hindering the story, the characters, the feel of the world. You can really go about it any way you feel. You can take an entire ship and just assassinate everybody and be smart about it, use your smoke bombs, do all this other stealth stuff. Or you can just go in guns blazing with your 2 swords and massacre the entire ship, overtake it. You can capture people who are stranded in the ocean and add them to your crew. You can go it solo, have your entire crew be killed, and just keep playing the game. Like, it's just all these different aspects about the game that make it its own. And I just really miss these things from modern Assassin's Creed games. I know I've touched on the customization aspects over the past few minutes, but again, that is just another really great thing that this game does. You can, again, I bought it on PC, so I got all the DLC. I got everything that you get with it, and it's great. You can customize the ship completely. You can customize Edward completely. It's just so fun. It's so good. Nothing was more fun to me than dressing up as Ezio and running around a tropical island, because Ezio would never be on a tropical island in a pirate ship, and it was just a blast. And same thing with the Altair hooded outfit. It was just so much fun. The DLC I will touch on very lightly because I really feel like you could do an entire video on it. It's more of the same. Really, really good story. It was just a blast. I had a fun time with it. I had as much fun in the DLC as I did in the main game. So that's pretty much all I can say. Assassin's Creed Black Flag really is my favorite Assassin's Creed game. From the animations, parkour style, stealth systems, boat combat, crew mechanic, customization, story, just general gameplay, being able to swim from ship to ship if you feel like it, being able to just cross the seas as much as you can is just so good. It was completely well done. This game, I will always say, ahead of its time. If this game came out today, just with modern graphics, it would easily be one of the best games to come out. It's just so good, and I really, really appreciate this game for what it is. Now, I never got the chance to try the multiplayer because, frankly, there's not a lot of people playing this game. From what I've heard, it was fine. It was good. I'd never touched, really, the Assassin's Creed multiplayers. So, but yeah, I mean, that's all I got for you today. This video took a lot out of me because I had to play the entire game, but I enjoyed it, and I'm going to be doing very similar videos with two different games than Assassin's Creed. I want to do those a little bit more retrospective style. This one is just me sitting and talking, and there's gameplay, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know that everyone has their own opinions when it comes to Assassin's Creed, and that's one of my favorite things about this franchise is after 15 years of being a franchise, almost everybody can have a different opinion about either what their favorite game was, their favorite protagonist, their favorite antagonist, their favorite assassins, time period, their favorite combat system, favorite parkour system. There's so much that this franchise offers that I think it's overlooked because it's one of those franchises that used to just pump out yearly releases, and they've kind of fumbled over the last few releases. That I just wanted to make a video to appreciate not only my personal favorite Assassin's Creed game, but to appreciate the time, the effort, and the care that was put into this game, because you can really feel that this was Ubisoft swinging for the fences and just going all out. And I really think that they should do more of that. I think they can learn a lot by just going back to the first few games, because they were pretty ambitious for the time, this game especially, and I just think it's great, and I think it's a great game, and I really hope that you get a chance to play it if you haven't. Anyways, that's going to do it from me today. I hope you guys had a great holiday season. It's 2024 now. Again, I'm going to try to upload as much as I can. I did get my class list, and I'm going to be swamped for the next semester, but it is my last one. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. It's been wicked, and I'll see you guys in the next video.